To order the meeting of the Zoning Board of Adjustment for July 2024. The Zoning Board of Adjustment is a quasi-judicial board created by the City of Ames. The board's purpose is to decide on applications for special use permits, exceptions and variances to the zoning ordinance, applications for conditional use permits in the floodplain, requests for reasonable accommodations because of disability, and appeals of decisions of the zoning enforcement officer. As a board of the city, we welcome all testimony. We make our decisions based on the facts and evidence as allowed under city code and presented in open meeting. Testimony before the board must be given under oath or affirmation. If the proceedings become lengthy, we may ask that testimony be focused on new facts or evidence not already presented. We ask that you come to the microphone if you wish to speak. It's at the podium right there, so that your testimony will be audible and may be recorded. Before speaking, please complete an orange information card and hand it to the recording secretary. When you are testifying, please address your remarks to the board. We also ask that the proceedings be orderly. The Zoning Board of Adjustment is an independent volunteer board of citizens, not part of the city administration. We are served in our efforts this evening by Jane Chang, Assistant City Attorney, Benjamin Campbell, City Planner, and Natalie Riekmeyer, the Recording Secretary. The order of the proceedings for each application will be as follows. First, an oral statement summarizing issues and procedural steps will be presented by the staff. Second, testimony and will be presented by the applicant. Third, testimony will be heard by any members of the audience who wish to speak in support or in opposition to the appeal. Next, the board will give the applicant and the city staff an opportunity to present concluding summaries and arguments. And finally, the board will discuss the issues and evidence and come to a decision. First item on the agenda for this evening is the approval of the minutes from the last meeting, which was June 12th, 2024. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting of those minutes? Motion Whitehouse.
I'll second.
Second Patton. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Okay, the motion passes. The meetings for this meeting have been amended slightly. The public hearing that was to be a request for a special use permit for a change to another non-residential, non-conforming use at 143 Sheldon Avenue. That item has been withdrawn, so we will remove that item from the agenda. I don't think there are any other amendments. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of this meeting? All right, and then we have a second. All right, so moved. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Okay, so we approve the minutes of this meeting. As such, then we have one item then, which is a public hearing for an amendment to a special use permit to remove a portion of the existing stealth tower and replace it with a larger diameter stealth canister, including new antenna and equipment on the existing cellular tower located at 106 South Dakota Avenue. With that, I'll turn it over to Benjamin.
Good evening. The applicant here is requesting to amend the existing special use permit to change out some of the, or to one of the canisters at the top of the cell tower at 106 South Dakota, which you can see here, just south of Lincoln Way. The property is home to the Ames Women's Club. The property was originally approved for a special use permit in 2003. At that time, the stealth monopole was consistent in width and appearance. Subsequent changes to the special use permit were approved by the Zoning Board of Adjustment in 2014, which allowed for some additional canisters below the top four. And then in 2020, allowed for the canisters at the top to increase in diameter. There is an enclosure. You can see here close up of the enclosure there. It is surrounded, is roughly 50 by 50 feet, and it is surrounded on all sides by some mature arborvitae. And close up of that equipment. This is the pole as it exists today. The drawing on the right shows the in red the proposed canister that will be is proposed to be enlarged. The canister is currently 48 inches, and 84 inches is proposed to be the diameter for the new canister. Staff does recommend approval of the special use permit, and I can answer any questions you have.
Do you know by definition why it's considered stealth?
I mean, it's stealth because it's a reasonable question.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not exposed. It is hidden behind there. Obviously, this particular, the canisters each at the top there are 10 feet. And so this particular 10-foot tall canister will be getting visibly larger.
We didn't get any feedback from anybody on it. That's you got notice. And
I only received one phone call just asking what was happening.
okay. All right. Any other questions for staff? Okay. If the applicant's here, if he'd like to address the board, he may come forward. Oh, he has got his card, Natalie. All right. First, identify yourself, and before you do that, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
All right. So go ahead.
I'm a Rob Vieira. My address too, 229 Byrondale Avenue, Wayzata, Minnesota 55391. I represent U.S. Cellular. We are building out basically a new 5G system, and this entails brand new equipment. This is an old type stealth tower that was built originally in 2003, I believe, so quite a while ago. So I think back then the thought was antennas were going to get smaller, and the kind of slimline stealth design was the way to go with the future of a cell tower. So this has been modified at least one time now to kind of fit more equipment inside the canister. So I think it looks okay the way it is here now. I think it was people weren't kind of forward thinking 20 years ago, thinking the antennas would get smaller, and there wasn't going to be a need as there is now for capacity. So we have coverage everywhere, but there are capacity issues, and nobody thought of 3G, 4G, 5G 20 years ago. So there's a need now for the 5G technology being built out. So what that entails is adding more equipment. And so in this case here, we're looking to just expand one of the canisters at about the 105-foot level. So it'd still be enclosed within a stealth canister, but just kind of a larger one. So as Benjamin said, it's now 48 inches in diameter, 84 inches in diameter. A few reasons for this. One being there's now going to be 6 antennas in there at this particular center line. It's all going to be, again, 5G technology. The more antennas, this area here, there's a problem with capacity. So you need more antennas to have capacity. The 5G technology will help with both speed and capacity. So we thought we're going to just increase one canister. It's already a stealth type tower. You can see T-Mobile there below. They are not enclosed in the canister. I think they probably should be, but they're not. But I think our idea was to first think about doing what they did there, but I think it's better to simply increase the diameter of the canister as opposed to having kind of external like T-Mobile did. So we're looking to get built here as quickly as we possibly can. It's all kind of nationwide, but I'm kind of working just in Iowa. So this will increase the capacity and will help with the speed as well too for this area. So we're looking to build as soon as we possibly can here. So I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Does anybody have questions for the applicant?
I have one, but it's more just out of curiosity. So since it is basically doubling, it's more than doubling in size, but does that have any impact on the antennas below or above it, since it might be blocking, I guess, some of
Actually, there are 4 canisters. US Cell occupies the first, second, and third canisters
Oh.
with just different technologies. So you have 3G essentially on top, 5G in the middle, and 4G below. So it's all US Cell stuff. So they operate on different frequencies. So there's no issue with us changing the canister of the middle one there. So it's not an issue for anybody.
All right, any other questions? Okay, thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question for staff.
Okay.
Did the T-Mobile antennas have to get approved by ZBA as well?
Yeah.
Was that in 2014?
Yeah, that was in 2014 that it was approved.
Just curious. Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, at first blush, I wouldn't even assume they were separate.
Yeah.
It was all just one unit, just different modules or something, but that makes sense.
Yeah, when you said below, I thought you meant like behind it, like there was
No.
another tower. But I see it. Cool.
Okay, any other discussion we need to have as a board? Do I have a motion concerning this special use permit?
Move to approve.
So a motion and a second. Let's take a roll call vote.
Aye.
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 Okay, the motion has been approved, the special use permit. Anyone wishing to challenge the ruling of the board may do so by filing a writ of certiorari in district court. I think it's within 30 days
Of the filing date.
of the filing date. All right. As there are no other items on the agenda, I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. We are adjourned.